morning, good afternoon, good evening, from wherever you're watching me from. I am Faith Mukami, your online friend. Today I bring to you again the topic which I title value. Value. We all know that value is a very important word that cannot be overemphasized. So, as we dive into this, listen carefully, and at the end of this video, don't forget to like, to share, and to comment. So let's dive deep into this topic. So, what is value? Value can be said to be the worth of a person or a people by what they are involved in, or their character, or their belief, or let's say their influence. Then let's talk about the common meaning of value. First of all, we're going to talk about money. Everybody knows that money is a value. Money can be said to be the worth of a car. It can be said to be the worth of a property. It can be said to be the worth of a commodity. Let's look at usefulness. Usefulness also is a value in the sense that when you're deriving something from somebody, or you're deriving an advantage from an item, or there's an importance you're getting from a person, it can be said to be the usefulness you're getting from that person or thing. So it is a value. Then another thing is belief. Belief, it is an idea that is accepted by a person or a people, or we can say belief is a social standard or a principle that guides a behavior. For example, let's look at Christianity. Christian, their belief towards a particular act in church, maybe let's say the way of worship, the way of preaching, the way of dancing, it's the belief that Christian has towards that act. So it is the belief that guides such behavior. Now let's look at in terms of art. Let's say in terms of painting, we can say the level of the darkness or the lightness of a color can said to be the worth or the value of that painting. So let's look at some of the types of values, or let's look at the types of value. For example, we have intrinsic value. This kind of value, they are value that are good in itself. It is not based on something. It is just a natural act or natural behavior. For example, we look at truth. Truth is a natural behavior. Kindness is natural. Then value is natural, which makes it an intrinsic behavior. Then loyalty is natural, also make it an intrinsic behavior. An intrinsic behavior, which is value. Then let's look at the other type, which are instrumental value and terminal value. Into instrumental value is a value based on getting something out of it. It's an act in such a way that at the end you get something out of it. Let's say for instance you're working just to make an end meet. The other one is maybe you're giving a child something just to get something in return from the child's parents. Do you understand? Or you're giving a child an item just to get something in return from the child. Just instrumental value, it is based on getting something out of it. Let's look at terminal value. Terminal value, it's a life goal. It's an ultimate life goal. It is important to humanity. For example, peace. Everyone like to have peace, though some people might not want peace. Sorry, I was just talking about that. But the truth is, peace is important to humanity. The other one is family security. Family security, it's important. When you have family security, it gives you this inner peace, which is very important, which is the biggest goal in life. Then the other one is, let's say, property security. Let's say health security. Health is very paramount. Health security is very paramount. When our health is secured, we have peace. Then we understand the fact that, our most important life goal is secured. Hope this is helpful. Thank you very much for your audience. Like I said, like this video, comment and share. Love you. Yeah.